Hi, this is Roby Thomas, Bay Area Downsizer, bringing you the Fremont market update for May and the active update for June of 2025. Keep in mind that the data that is recorded on the MLS for sold properties is usually 30 days delayed, and every other data online is probably even more delayed. And the only real indicator is watching the supply and demand, which is the active versus the pending, and not the sold, because for an escrow to close usually takes between 20 to 30 days. Keeping that in mind, let's look at what happened in May of 2025 in Fremont. Fremont has five zip codes, and this is an aggregate of all five zip codes together. So the inventory was 119 units that were listed for sale of the last day of May, approximately 1.5 months of inventory, which has never happened in the last probably 10 years in Fremont, because the approximate inventory used to be less than 30 days. So it's increased. Sales activity was 88 units were sold during May, and the median sales price is 1,742,500 during the month of May. Average price per square feet in May was 1,121, although it gives you a general idea of what a square footage would look like in cost when you're buying a home in the Fremont market. This is not really an accurate apples to apples comparison because it's not factoring upgrades, it's not factoring proximity to a freeway, school, the zip code which is in, because every zip code has different pricing. Then let's look at the average days on market, or DOM. It's approximately 14 days. So most of the houses are in approximation sold in 14 days from the time it listed to the time it's sold, which is still a very strong seller's market in the last month. So let's look at sold or asking. On average, buyers paid 105% off list price in May. So buyers paid over asking, and actually they paid 105% over the list price. Now, if you look at this simple median sale price, although again, just like per square footage price, median sale price also does not factor in upgrades or other critical factors, but just gives a general direction as to what the prices are in that area. Now, if you look at May 2024, the median was about 1.8 million, and all the way to July of 2024. It spiked in August of 2024 to 1.9 million and drastically dropped to 1.7 and lower in September of 2024. And then it's meandering slightly higher until April 2025, and then something happened. The tariffs kicked in, the interest rates. There's various factors, but on another video, I'll explain why it's not just these factors, but more reason why this sudden. Here, there was a sharp drop if you look at the angle of the price range drop, and here there's a curving drop, which I think will continue to go lower even below this pricing, only because of the buildup in inventory and there's a shadow inventory. Okay, so now let's look at the inventory of the pending and sold. If you look at May, you got about 100 units, and in May 24, and over here in May 2025, it's going over in terms of the actual active. Active is outpacing the sold. The bar chart has reversed. So here you see the blue, which is active. It's about like 60 or 70, and the sold was much higher. So it's an extreme seller's market. And now it's shifting into a buyer's market in May, already in May. Now let's look at other factors. If you look at the actual numbers in the monthly market activity itself, what you'll see is in May of 2024 last year, there was active 68 and pending 76, which is an extreme seller's market because this is the supply and this is the demand. And this is already delayed by 30 days of a delayed date. So you really can't count on this. And if you look at the month supply, which is zero point 0.8, less than 30 days, the houses used to get sold in May of 2024. But now look at May of 2025, last month, this month being June. Today is the 10th of June, 2025. If you look at it, there's 1.5 month of supply. That means inventory is building. The average sales price in May of 2024, this is the irony, went from 1,746,108 to 1,885,759 million. So the average list price has gone up. The average sale price has also gone up, but not significantly. If you look at May 2024, it's 1,937,447. And in May of 2025, you have 1,960,429. Now let's look at the active inventory. Supply in Fremont, this is straight from the MLS, is taking 5 zip codes into consideration. You have Fremont, you have detached at 97. The supply is outpacing the demand, and the demand is at 87. Condos at 57, which is way over supply, and demand at 17. And townhouses at 46, oversupply, and pending at 9. So you can really see a market slow down. That also means that if you're a real buyer in this market, and you really want to get into a house that you really like, that you can definitely negotiate a price and your terms. If you need anything at all specific to a particular property in Fremont or the surrounding cities, do reach me at 510-375-2264. Roby Thomas, your Bay Area Downsizer, and reach my website, bayareadownsizer.com, for a free evaluation of your property. Bye and have a good day.